Okay, so if I can count right, this is day 4. Only 4 days in, I'm already having trouble keeping track of how many days it is. Um, got my bike back from the dealership. Got both fork shields replaced, new oil in both forks. Fork oil got all over the brake pads, so had to have new brake pads. Anytime I get in and out of a BMW dealership for less than $1,000, if they're doing anything to the bike, I consider that a win. So this is about 800 bucks. They even washed it for me. So Camilo Diaz, that's for you, buddy. I know you like a clean bike. It's probably the only time it's going to get washed for a while, though. I even took a picture for you. We got out of the dealership about 12:30 after I went over and drilled on the new 1250 GS rallies that were 25 grand. I have to wait for the 1300 to come out so I can buy one of those used someday maybe. And we took off and we did some monster slabbing down I-15 to get to US 89 and head southwest out of Provo, or southeast out of Provo. And eventually got down to a little town called Fairview, I believe. And that's at Highway 31. And then we ran 31 up into the mountains going east. The goal was to pick up the bottom 2/3 of Skyline Drive, which is used to be a well-groomed dirt road that runs around 9 to 10,500, maybe 11,000 feet, following the ridge that kind of roughly parallels I-15 running down towards Las Vegas, towards Cedar City. And we were going to run down that, eventually work our way down to the west side of Zion National Park. Well, no, actually, we weren't going to go quite that far. We were going to go to Salina. There's a campground up on the mountain there on that road that I wanted to stay at. So it was going to be a relatively short day since we got a late start. We got on Skyline Drive. Before we even got there, we had seen some rain up on the mountain. But we went up. The first part of it was nice. It was dry. Sarah was doing really great again. I mean, she's riding really well, even though we're really high. We were at 10,000 feet real quick. And then you get to a part of the road where, I don't know, it's like county maintenance or one of those things. You see one of the signs where they say maintenance ends or whatever. And it went from like a hard packed gravel to just basically dirt, graded dirt. Didn't look muddy, but when I hit it, because I was going first, I was sliding all over the place. And I'm on the communicator trying to tell Sarah, stop, don't come in, because I thought she was further behind me. She wasn't that far behind me, I didn't realize it. And so she came right on in and she rode it pretty good. She went a long way and did the same thing I did years ago on my GS. She caught a rut, pretty deep rut, and it popped the tire out from under her. And once again, she got the short straw. So she went down on her left side and got mud all over her, mud all over the bike. So it looks terrible. It's not. The bike's scuffed up and muddy. She's covered in mud, But she just irritated that she's the one that got the short end of the stick twice now. And she feels like she's ruining the trip. And I tried to tell her, it's like, I could have just as easily gone down right then as you could have. But this is why we wear the gear. She has a little bruise on the underside of her arm by her elbow, and it's kind of tender. But she can move it everywhere. It doesn't hurt. We went and got milkshakes again. That seems to be the magic cure for stuff. So we altered our plans again and turned around. She got back on the bike. We straightened up the handlebars again, and she rode all the way back down the mountain. I got her looking at beautiful flowers that were incredible on the side of the road, just to kind of calm her down. I think the thin air at 10,000 feet and being kind of nervous, she was kind of hyperventilating a little bit. So I was just trying to get her to calm down and breathe deeper and relax. And talking about the flowers worked. And she did a really great job of getting back to the highway. No close calls or anything like that. She rode really well. I could hear her kind of being upset on the communicator. So I just kind of talked to her calmly or just leave her alone sometimes when she doesn't want to be talked to. And we got back to the highway, and then we had a fantastic ride down the highway. I followed her for a while, and so I'll tell her, like, you need to get a little further to the left before you tip into the right-hand corner. You need to go a little deeper in the corner before you tip in, so you don't cut to the inside and overshoot the corner. you know, things like that. And then I got in front of her and said, okay, now I want you to just follow and do the exact same lines I do and just try to keep the same speed, same gap, you know. And I slowed down. We were only running like 45 miles an hour because it was a pretty twisty road. Just a beautiful wooded canyon with the river on one side, coming down out of the mountains, just back and forth, you know, like slalom skiing, just coming down the mountain. I was just trying to get her to feel that back and forth rhythm where you're not being jerky, you're just flowing down the mountain. You know, that's what I've been trying to teach them from the very beginning on how to ride, just be smooth. And that calmed her down, and she really enjoyed the ride. And I didn't see her fluffing any lines or anything like that. You know, I was keeping a close eye on her. And then we got to this strange town called Huntington. One of the locals, I asked about a hotel. It's like, yeah, well, the only place is that place down there on the left. I wouldn't stay there because, you know, they find dead bodies there quite often. And I'm looking at her like, seriously? And she's like, yeah. So we finished up our sandwich at this Subway, and the people that worked there were all kind of just like, you know, you ask them a question, it's like, yeah. It's kind of weird. Even the kids were kind of wigged out by it. So we finished our sandwiches, got on Expedia to see, okay, what other hotels are near, and the closest near things were back up the road in Price on US 6, which we had come through yesterday on the way to Salt Lake. And we found a nice older hotel. You can hear all the ACs cranking right now probably. But it's clean, it's cheap. Had like a cool ice cream shop down the street. So we ran down here, checked in, got our gear off, walked down the street just in time to see them closing and wiping everything up and run us off. It's just great. So they had a McDonald's across the street, and we walked in. I was like, does your ice cream machine work? And they're like, yeah. And we're like, wow. So that's unusual. So we all got chocolate milkshakes and stuff and just kind of hung out and cooled off for a while and walked back up to the hotel. It was a beautiful sunset. You know, you got so much sky up here, and huge thunderheads everywhere around the mountains. It makes for epic sunsets, you know. So the kids have been taking lots of sunset pictures. The place we're staying right now has got a kind of a cool pool right off the lobby. I mean, you walk in the lobby, you just walk into this giant pool area. So they've been in there soaking their feet in the pool for a while, and they just came out. So here's video proof that both of them are still alive, walking in perfect condition, and I haven't hurt them too bad. Here's Sarah telling everybody how much fun she's having, right?
Yeah.
Speak to the people.
I'm enjoying the roads,
there.
but not the heights.
Yeah. So let's see that elbow.
Ooh, you can't tell very well. And I can't lift it any higher.
It's a little bit of bruising, but it's not swollen. Well, actually, it might be a little bit swollen right there. Don't bend it so tight.
And the shoulder hurts.
So, yeah, there's a urgent care clinic here in town. So I think tomorrow we're just gonna walk over there. Apparently, they don't have any Uber in this town, so we're gonna head over there and just get it X-rayed, or see if maybe she's what do you call it, separated the shoulder. You know, make sure there's like no bone chip, that kind of thing, where it's not broken but it's just chipped and painful. Yeah, and I think tomorrow we're just gonna hang out. We're not gonna go ride anywhere. We're gonna stay here. It's a pretty nice town. The hotel's not that expensive. It's got air conditioning and a pool. We're 0 for 4 on hot tubs though. Every place we've stayed, you look on Expedia and like pool hot tub, and you get there and like, yeah, sorry, that's out of order. And you're like, okay, how about the hot tub? Well, yeah, that's out of order too. It's like, okay, so this place at least had a pool, but hot tub's out of order too. So yeah, we're 0 for 4 on that one. That kind of stinks. So anyway, we got to try to track down some parts. You know, still looking for the brake lever. That'll be shipped back to Provo on Saturday. So we were trying to do like a 4-day loop, go down south and hit Zion and Bryce and Escalante, and come back up and be in Provo by Saturday to pick up a new brake lever for her bike. Now I think we may just have to skip Bryce Canyon and Zion, unless we just really haul. You know, I mean, I don't want to do long, hard day on the bike just to get there. I mean, they're pretty cool. They're neat to see. Sarah's been there before. Daniel hadn't. But, you know, plans change. So we're still hoping to keep going as long as we can. And if we can't, we'll turn around and head back to the truck and head home. But we'll keep going. So if you're one of those people that are out there praying for us, we appreciate it. Keep going. It's helping. You know, one of the things we found out today with that mud was Some other people came down in their side-by-sides, and a dude came down in a little FJ Cruiser 4-wheel drive. And I was talking to him, and he's like, you know, I've got an Africa Twin 1100, and I run knobby tires on it, and there's no way I would try to ride it through that stuff. He said there was mud up there that was like 9 inches deep, huge ruts. So, you know, I was trying to get Sarah to understand that, look, we were turning around no matter what. It didn't matter if you fell over and got hurt. So you haven't ruined the trip for us. This is just what happens. You know, you can't predict conditions. So we'll see what happens next. So that's it for today. Bye.